Welcome to RTBro's Trading Academy, where we focus entirely on the charts and completely ignore the news because it can be manipulated, and we also ignore the fundamentals because it cannot be quantitatively valued. Now, there's been a lot of volatility in the markets, and that's because of a very, very tragic event that is going on overseas. With the risk of being insensitive, because I do think that this is an absolutely heartbreaking moment, and I have absolute, absolute sympathy for everything that's happening over in Ukraine and that entire region. Okay. I also have an obligation to you guys to keep you guys safe in these volatile market conditions. So I consider not making a video today and just letting it sit for a while, but I really want to get a video out there with my thoughts so you guys can also remain safe financially in these markets. So give you guys an idea what I'm looking for. And guys, it doesn't look that bad. And I think you guys will be really impressed with how the markets look. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about on this is going to be the overall Bitcoin price chart. Okay. Um, this is what we were looking for. We had this 4-hour breaker. We lost it. Remember that? We lost it. Okay. We came down here. We had a golden pocket region right beneath it. And I said, guys, as long as we hold this golden pocket region, I think we're still going to be okay. We did recover it, but we just came back up and retested the 4-hour breaker. And last night, obviously, that happened and we had a capitulation downwards all the way down to around $34,000. This was a really aggressive drop, and I stayed up till around 2 or 3, maybe even 4 last night, and I had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So not really, my head's not really here yet because I still haven't went to sleep yet. So, but we're gonna give this a shot, guys. So we did have a really aggressive drop. However, this is very important. We had a really, really strong buyback. All right. Now, the main question here is why did this buyback actually happen? Well, I talked about this yesterday. Okay. So, two different things I want to mention on here. Um, I said, I still do not think this is going to be nearly as violent of a drop from here as others may be expecting. This is because of the long, drawn out nature of this conflict escalating. I still think this is a sell the rumor, buy the news situation, but I would expect a lot of violence in the market over the next few days. What this means is just like you may have heard the expression, you buy the rumor, you sell the news on good events, right? When if you're expecting, or if you have inside information where you hear a rumor of something that's going to go really well, you want to buy into it, and so that whenever that news does come out, the people who get the news will just be selling or will be buying your bags as you're selling the top, right? The exact same thing also exists. You sell the rumor and you buy the news, right? So you basically short the market during the rumor, and then you close your shorts and enter a long position at the bottom when the news actually comes out. I think this is a very similar situation, like we saw there. So, and the reason why I'm thinking that is because this was not a black swan event. This is something that was very heavily broadcasted. Okay. We've known for at least a couple weeks, potentially a couple months, that this was going to happen eventually. So the powers to be, the people with the money makers, right, or the market makers, they actually have already placed their positions for this event to unfold long in advance. And so once this thing actually did kick off and the price did actually drop, they then closed their short positions and made a ton of money off of it, right? And that's generally what happens because it was a sell the rumor, buy the news event. Not only that, other things I was looking for on here is we were having this parallel channel that we mentioned before. The parallel channel was holding up, and we had a bullish divergence, and we also had a lot of late shorts that were opening up. So all these different things were giving me pretty good confidence that we were actually going to get some sort of an increase, and of course we did ultimately get it. So that's why this really happened. All right, these guys shorted the market way too late. There was a lot of built up shorts that were just overexposed, and they just got liquidated. Now here's the thing, though. This actually looks really healthy, okay? And the reason why I'm saying that is that there's a ton of volume here. And just to give you an idea, you go back and check these different charts. Look at this candle, okay? This is a ton of volume. The last time we had that amount of volume was way back here, and remember what happened, right? We had a dang near 50% increase from that point. Okay. So when you have a ton of volume like that, that's a real big sign of the market that um, something is happening, right? Whatever the end result of that candle is a significant thing that is happening in the market. And it's not just on that exchange. You can go to Binance, you can see it. You can go to Bitfinex, you can go to Bitstamp. You see, this volume is not just on a single exchange, it's also on Coinbase. I think that one right there. Yeah. A lot of volume even on Coinbase, guys. So Binance and Coinbase both have a ton of volume. That means that there's a lot of transactions that happen, a lot of interest in this level that was tested. All right. Now, what are the key levels that were tested? Well, let's dive in on that. So we have this untapped, or we had this liquidity level down here, liquidity level down here. Both of those got swept, which meant that all of those stops that were placed, they got stopped out or they got liquidated. And so then the market makers were able to place their bids right down here and were able to take that liquidity and pop it back to the upside, right? Because if you have a ton of money and you're trying to enter a large position, you need people to sell into your position or you're going to have a ton of slippage in your positions. I talked about that a lot on the swing failure pattern video that I have in my Trading 101 series. All right. Now, not only that, we also have this weekly breaker right here. Okay. And it's already acted as a very strong support once, and it looks like it's acting as a very strong support again, which is really, really good, guys. Now, this golden pocket is actually no longer valid in my opinion because we've dropped too far. We've already went down below it. So essentially, I'm going to go ahead and say it's invalidated. However, now we have this very clear 3-day level that we can also act as a major support level. Okay. And as you can see, right now it's still acting as a major support. So if we are above this 3-day level in 1 day and 20 hours, to me, that is a massive show of strength. Okay. I think that is a huge show of strength. If we can stay above here, anywhere in here, all right. Obviously, if we're way up here, much better. But as long as we stay in this general vicinity for the next 1 day and 20 hours, to me, that is a massive show of strength. And that would be I think that'd be a very clear sign to start entering the market with more positions. Um, Now, speaking of more positions, I actually went ahead and took 20% of my portfolio and I have cashed it out into fiat, into stable coins, just waiting on the sidelines because of this massive volatility. And I just want to make sure I have some cash on the sidelines so that if we do get a lower dip or we have a show of strength, one of the two is going to happen, right? I will be able to enter in a more confident play with that remaining fiat. Now, this 4-day level, it's been a very significant level. And I talked about it a lot. So we see how this 4-day breaker was formed. We tested it, we tested it, we tested it. It broke back above it. And I mentioned how if we started trading underneath it, that'd be a very bad sign, right? Well, we are trading back below it. And we have obviously reacted very handily to this. But I do believe that this is the capitulation right here. I think that this has basically played out for the most part. However, the confirmation is going to be a close above the 3-day breaker. And even more importantly, a close above this level, as well as this 4-hour 200 moving average. So those are the the three things I'm really looking for to give me that extra confidence that we are going to continue going up. All right. What else? What else? What else? Now, if we do lose this weekly level, we're going to come down here and tap this liquidity down here. However, if we do drop down here, I think that we're going to just completely collapse past this one. And our first stop will be right down here at the 2021 yearly open, as well as this massive untapped liquidity that goes back all the way until July of last year. Okay. So this level is the key level I'm looking for if we start showing some bearishness over here. All right. So let's go to the next one. Now, the BLX chart, the reason why I have this one up is because I have this level drawn on this chart, and I talked about it a few days ago. This level is very significant. Okay, and I know this chart is delayed, so this price is not actually accurate to the current time frame. But as you guys can see, we're at 38,926. This level is at 40,150. So right now we are still beneath this very, very important, like this massive horizontal trend line. We are still below it, guys. And until we reclaim this support, you have to use some sort of caution in the market. So we're not out of the woods yet, and that's essentially what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So people who are asking me like, "Hey, what coin should I get into?" Honestly, like none. I would hold off until we have more clarity right now, guys. I'm looking for buying a lot cheaper, or I'm waiting until we start showing some bullish market structure up here, and then we can start targeting back to our next levels. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be over here. This is the Dow Jones Industrial Average. It, the early trading was really, really, really low. And as soon as the market, well, not really as soon as the market, but the market started trending, and then it popped the upside very aggressively, which also dragged up crypto, okay, which was very, very nice. However, and make it very clear. I actually got this because I was watching a blockchain backers video earlier. Okay, make that very clear. He's one of the very, very amazing YouTubers that I do watch and I do highly admire. So I like watching his videos. It really helps me give my own confidence and my own perspective and, maybe, adjust my bias or whatever. But this right here does make a lot of sense, though. He pointed out how we have a dip down here and a solid retracement up to the golden pocket region, right? So the golden pockets is 618 to the 702. Well, it's a perfect tap of the 702 before a continuation back down, right? So this does look like essentially a completed ABC, like he was mentioning, and that's looks pretty good. Now, one thing about Elliott Wave, if you're going to dive in here, it doesn't have to end at ABC. It could go into a many different options. I'm not an Elliott Wave expert by any means, but understand that an ABC correction is just one of the many types of corrections this can play out with. But the important thing is that this right here, this interaction is very important. You see how you have this massive drop all the way down here, and then you have a retracement all the way back up here to the 702, right? And if you remember how you felt down here, it was a lot of fear and everyone's freaking out, right? However, it was able to recover all the way up here, and that's exactly what I'm still expecting to see on Bitcoin, guys. Like, I think it still makes a ton of sense. As long as we can get above that level, I think the 702, the 618 to 702 retracement is absolutely still very possible. All right, so draw that out. 702, 618, 702, right here, right? I still think this is still a possible and obtainable level. And the Dow Jones just showed that this is absolutely possible to do. Let's see. Outside of that, we have total chart still looking fine. I don't have any issue at all with this. A very, very strong bullish candle. I love this. This is a bullish hammer. You notice a bullish hammer because you have a long wick to the downside, and you have a body up here like a a bigger body at the top side, right? Now we do have more of a wick on the top side than I would like to see if it be a true bullish hammer, but I think it still does classify. Another thing you're looking for a bullish hammer is going to be that volume, and like we talked about, we absolutely do have that volume. So this looks really, really strong. Total chart looks really good. Now let's go to the not so good part. Altcoins. Alts are getting absolutely wrecked right now compared to Bitcoin. Okay. And it's unfortunate because I'm an altcoin trader, right? I love my altcoins. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me fix this because I just messed up a little bit. Sorry, I'm using my laptop, and that's what happens when I use my laptop. Let's go back over here to the technicals, pull that sucker back up, and let's talk about Bitcoin dominance, all right? And Bitcoin dominance is something that is not looking great, guys. Okay. I mentioned last night how I was really happy. I did it again. This is amazing. So essentially, what I was looking for last night is that the Bitcoin dominance was actually holding up very nicely as a. It was holding up very nicely as Bitcoin was getting just absolutely wrecked. Bitcoin dominance was actually dropping, and that was really, really cool, good for me. I was like, oh, this is great. I like at least seeing that we're having Bitcoin start to show weakness compared to the altcoins, right? However, we have actually spiked to the upside on Bitcoin dominance, and now we are pressing up against this massive weekly breaker. And if we get above here, I think that Bitcoin is going to absolutely destroy altcoins in the near future. Okay, I think that Bitcoin will absolutely suck the money out of the market, and my first target is going to be this level right here. However, ultimately, I'm expecting us to get all the way up here. Now, this may not seem like much, but it's absolutely a ton. Okay, this is a lot of distance right here.
And that means that alts are going to get absolutely wrecked in comparison to Bitcoin. Now, altcoins may still increase, but Bitcoin is going to increase a lot harder. Or Bitcoin is going to fall and altcoins are going to fall a lot harder. And that's the important thing here, though, guys. So ultimately, we are pressing up against it. However, and here's the important thing as well, this is still a resistance until we actually get above it. So right now, this is still the resistance point. So if it would make sense to add your alts here, right? This is the optimal spot to add some alt positions. Just be aware that if we do start showing some bullishness up here, I would definitely start cutting some alts very aggressively. And that's one of the main reasons why I did actually pull some of my altcoin positions out into stable coins to see what happens with here and also get those confirmations elsewhere. So yeah, guys, I hope this makes sense. I hope it's not too much rambling or whatever, but um, there's a lot going on in this market, guys, and it's very volatile. But I think it's very important that you ignore the news and just focus on the charts, because the charts really gave you the information that you needed to be successful while trading this range and everything that's been going on. So, and I hope you understand now that following the news is important, right? You want to know what's going on, but markets don't always react the way that makes sense. And that's essentially what we had today, right? So the markets are going in an opposite direction than you would expect because these people were already put in that position prior to. All right, guys. That's about all I got. You guys need to be on my Discord. I can't stress it enough. I was updating last night. I was up till way too late updating. So make sure you guys are in the Discord. A lot of information on there. Trading 101 series is still amazing. I got a lot of awesome videos on here. Outside of that, I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next video. Like always, deuces, boys.